There are many tools and skills that I am armed with I will not use. I'm a really good shot. I don't use that skill. I know quite a bit about explosives. I know how to manufacture them out of household items and easy to find items. I don't use that skill. The computer skills, I just simply don't have them. I got some experience with Gmail. I got some experience with YouTube. I got some experience with Facebook, and everything I'm able to do on those is from trial and error, and mostly error, and people helping me to navigate it. I wouldn't have an email address if it wasn't for somebody else helping me. I wouldn't have the ability to record on my YouTube if it wasn't for someone else helping me. I wouldn't have the ability to use Facebook if it wasn't for someone else helping me. I wouldn't have ever even been able to set those things up. There's also a lot of people have these assumptions of, oh, well, you just need to do this and you just need to do that. And you're not stopping to think, all right, do I have easy access to an address, a mailing address, and a physical address that I actually can go and retrieve those things myself instead of having to wait on someone like Brenda Dickinson, who is so fucked up on stage 3 cancer meds. These are pain meds, not, that she actually has cancer. And she's had cancer before. There's no chance, or there's definitely a chance that it could have come back. But the fact is that those drugs, they really fuck with you. Obviously, she was no longer useful as far as trying to get help. Thank goodness Tamara was on board. And I didn't give her an earful on Aunt B. It's not everybody's business that Brenda Dickinson was going south mentally. It's not everybody's business that it's because of pharmaceuticals. But it's also the truth, and it's something that does and did and still has a bearing on my situation. I mean, these good Christian people that I know, they all turned out to be, well, not so Christian. They want to talk about repenting and, their sins, profess them by mouth. I have through every step of this. These people want to play on religion. Are they following the rules? No. They're bearing false witness. That ain't right. You're not supposed to kill. That ain't right. I get the 10 Commandments. I understand them completely. I only follow 5 of them. There are 5 rules for how not to offend a person about things that they feel are theirs on this earth. And then there are 5 of them about how not to offend their belief system. Well, I don't give a fuck about your belief system. I don't. If your belief system has you doing fucked up shit, then I believe in your belief system. I believe that you're wholeheartedly a fucked up person because of your belief system, and I'm going to do my fucking best to dismantle it. Voila, solution. How about you get an education? How about before you go talking out your ass, you fucking look at both sides? Before you go slandering somebody's name in a way that gets innocent people fucking killed, maybe you should get off the fucking drugs and sober up a little bit. That's not rocket science. Maybe when somebody comes to you for help, Missy Bruce from Region 2, Nebraska, maybe when someone comes to you for help and you're fucking drunk and being an asshole, even if you were breathing in paint fumes like you say, well, that doesn't make it any better. That doesn't make it my fault. That doesn't make it okay to treat me like shit. When I ask you to get back a hold of me when you're sober, that's not a fucking insult. It's a, hey, you're being fucking shitty to me because you're fucking drunk. But I'm trying to be nice and not fucking offensive. I'm trying to step away from a volatile situation with a fucking angry drunk. And I'm trying to do it nicely. And she still took it as offensively as she possibly could. And then later on, it's, I only had one drink. Christopher Tapp going through nearly an entire bottle of Jameson. I only had one drink. Well, one drink for who? Like, that's more than a drink for Andre the Giant. I don't know who you're drinking for. But yeah, that's more than a fucking drink. It's not like he was drinking mixed drinks. It's not like he was pouring shots. No, he was chugging. Big difference. And of course, the more he drank, the more he railed against Tammy Mencher. The more he hated her, the more he wanted to scream his shit. The tools that I have include human resources, but those human resources aren't help. When he's drunk, no, how is that going to help me? How is he going to be of any use to even himself? That resulted in more physical damage against me. Thanks for the help, Fuzzy Bear, a.k.a. Christopher Tapp. He meant well, but he was abusive when he was drunk. And am I using drunk as an excuse for him to assault me? No, I'm saying that it is not fucking okay. I'm saying that it was his decision to drink. It was his decision to assault me. And the alcohol is a present factor in most abuse in this country. Not marijuana. Teresa Orn was not physically abusive. She used to be my babysitter when I was a kid. After Natalie died, like, I'm in Denver. I'm at a Starbucks that is about to close. I've got an actual news agency wanting to talk to me. I need to talk to these people to try to get help because I'm being assaulted in fucking Denver and fucking threatened. And what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm stranded there. You know, and Teresa Orn is making it completely worse because she's fucking drunk again, talking about her dead husband again, and I already know that that's going to turn into 2 to possibly 3 hours of her talking about her dead husband. And it's not that I was trying to be fucking rude to her. It's that, Jesus fucking Christ, I need to get help. But alcoholics are selfish. And these people tell me I need to go to the professionals to get help. I've been to the professionals. Then people want to tell me that I need to go to places that are not professional for help. Victor King, this shit to the crisis line. Oh my God, if I let him listen to the phone calls I had with the crisis line, he'd fucking put a gun in his mouth and pull the fucking trigger. Yeah, he would probably commit suicide for telling someone to do that. You guys are out of your fucking minds. When somebody is trying to turn in fucking abuse, and that's what they need fucking help with, and you're not going to help them with that. You're not going to help them to stop the fucking abuse that they are currently fucking going through. Have been going through 4 years, have reached out to you 4 years for help. What the fuck is this shit? No, that is telling someone you want them to blow their fucking head off. That is telling someone you want them to jump off a fucking bridge with a rope around their neck. That is telling someone to lay down on the tracks in front of the fucking train. I'm coming to you for help because you fucking know me. You might actually give a shit. None of these people do. If you listen to those fucking calls, no, they got 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, these volunteers, not professionals. All right? You guys need to make the distinction there. Meg Missigatis is a volunteer, not a professional. But you got all these excuses, don't you? All these things that were untrue that you want to push and pretend like they are. You don't want to hear my fucking side. You want to run with your assumptions. Like when all of those people at the group, right at the very beginning, with Evan Daka and fucking Carl Rogers and, God, who else was in that group? Lana and Amanda Engeline. Like, they all wanted to tell me what to do at once. They all wanted to ignore the things that I had literally typed to them. You know, by the time they gave up the Rapid City information, it was already too late. After that, I just typed Rapid City. Everybody fucking knew. It was in these fucking groups, and I was getting notifications, and here I am. I'm at fucking King Supers. You know, I'm supposed to be trying to fucking get my flip phone from Ken and Leah's, so I got to stick around until at least Monday. And then I get all of these people texting me and messaging me at once, telling me that I need to leave state and I need to do it today, and they already ordered a fucking ticket for today. And I'm like, no, are you fucking kidding me? No, I can't fucking do that. That's why you needed to fucking consult me and ask me what the fuck was going on. None of these people could do that. They were all busy fucking talking over me, chatting over me, and fucking texting over me. Were any of them calling me and shutting the fuck up so they even knew what was going on? No. When there is somebody who is in an extreme situation like that, instead of assuming that everything is all right, shut the fuck up. Find out what they're going through. Instead of pushing them to fucking suicide. Instead of going out of your way with those pretty fucking memes that you fucking read on Facebook that you fucking like so much. No, that does not replace a fucking police report. That does not stand between a rapist and their prey. That does not stand between a financial abuser and their prey. That does not stand between a crooked fucking cop and his prey. And autistic people, people with neurological disorders, every day have to be afraid of being killed by a fucking cop or a first responder or a hospital just for walking home. Elijah McClain is one of over 1,000 Americans this has happened to in 5 years. 1,000 people! All of them autistic. All of them. And how many of them do you care about? Do you care about the ones on the streets? No, you don't. Where do autistic children go when their parents don't love them? They go to the system, they age out, and they get dropped on the streets. Simple as that. Nothing to it. They don't have the skills to protect themselves. They don't have the skills to defend themselves. What they know is brutality. That's what they know. They know beatings. They know rape. That's what they know. They know being drugged. That's what they know. They know being ganged up on. That's what they know. They know racism. That's what they know. And then you throw them out on the streets and they actually have all of the skills to know how to survive on the streets. Why? Because they've been through worse. But you know what? That depends on how far you go along. They put you on their list. Hey, the jail's getting down to 79% occupancy, so we need to go pick up Zach Boatman and anybody else with a mentally ill tag because it's a free conviction. Lo and behold, that's what they do. Go down and pick up Zach Boatman and on another free conviction ticket. Or somebody like Victor King on another Black in Boulder violation. That's a running joke among the homeless there. That's not funny. It's kind of like those cops when they say, well, when they talk about our dead loved ones and call them bumsicles. There are victims elsewhere who have verified the things that I've said, but you know what? I had to compile that information. You didn't. And then these people who said that they would help me to compile that information. Now, some of them, thank goodness, were able to help me compile some of it. They were able to at least collect some of it and type their stories at me. But typing their stories does not get Shannon Alvarado in court. All these people who wanted to throw the Durango Herald at me, there was like 7 or 8 people telling me the Durango Herald. Well, are you going to call them with me? And Sarah Bacon said that she contacted the Durango Herald and that the Durango Herald told her I was schizophrenic. Funny. Zach Richmond says, same thing. Sheriff Scott DeCosta running around telling people I'm schizophrenic. I might kill people because I'm schizophrenic. And see, of course, they want to take me to court. They can pretend that this video didn't exist except for those few little words right there and pretend by using it out of context, which is against the law. No, protesting abuse is not against the law. Speaking out against violence, against violent action, because it takes too much violence for it to do any good. I'm not going to tell you violence won't do any good. It absolutely will. But it'll do a hell of a lot more evil in the fucking process. Violence ain't the route. Hell, not only am I against killing, you have any idea how difficult it was for me when I finally realized that the only thing that I could do to prove what these people were doing was wrong was to do it myself? How fucked up is that? But I was nice about it. I didn't threaten to kill Alicia or anybody in her family. At all. Now, of course, the situation with Ted Bollinger months earlier, yes, I absolutely did. I fessed up to it. I admitted it. The problem is getting my YouTube back so that I can prove it. Absolutely, I did. I admit it. I'm trying to fucking get that back because it shows that I was trying to protect Danica Garner, Rose M. Kelly, Alicia Bollinger. And you look at the situations that I was being put through at the time, and I'm being treated like these things didn't fucking happen. This is not fucking okay. And then there's the cops not taking shit seriously when you're talking to them. And they want to fucking snicker and laugh in the middle of a fucking serious goddamn situation. And then they say, oh, I'm not laughing at that. And then they want to use that to pretend, oh, well, he was just paranoid. He was fucking talking all sorts of crazy and accusing us of laughing at him. Jesus fucking Christ. We already know your fucking tactics, Peggy. We already know these tactics. The police in Boulder, Colorado do this a lot fucking more than you do. Their victims have it down to a fucking art. We know what they're gonna do like fucking clockwork. We know what you're gonna do like fucking clockwork. Many homeless people have admitted and have spoken out on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook on their own. about the fact that when they try to turn in a crime, the fucking cops aren't going to fucking listen. They're not even going to take a fucking report. When you force them to take one, you still have to go in alone. Because nobody cares. They don't want to be targeted. Who the fuck wants to be targeted by cops? They can do whatever they want, including fucking murder you. No, you don't want to piss them off. Especially not while they're busy trying to frame somebody. Christ. Oh, that is the worst way to smoke tobacco. I'm not fucking kidding. That's just gross. Addictions, though, right? I got a lot of tools. I really do. I got a bunch of fucking tools I don't know how to use. I am barely functional with fucking YouTube and Facebook. So, I mean, what do you fucking expect me to do? Me and Mandy Singer and me and several other people who I can't fucking verify. Why? Because they were homeless people in Washington State who tried to help me to fucking turn in officers and to turn in this shit to the FBI. We also were gonna try getting a hold of the Nebraska State Patrol, but then there was a situation there. Fuck. Now here at the Starbucks in Hood River, I don't go there anymore. With all the shit going on here with the fucking cops, it makes it an unsafe situation. I don't want them harassed. I don't want people going to them like they did fucking Zach Richmond, fucking warning them not to help me. No, that's very threatening to someone. It's also demeaning, and it also cuts somebody off from getting the help that they probably fucking need. You tell me to get help, and then you intimidate all of my fucking help. Am I an asshole to that help after that? You goddamn right. I give them a chance first, though. I give them a chance to come forward and tell the truth. Did you lie to me, Candace Bondurant? I already know you lied to the public and intentionally misled them. But did you lie about Officer Michael Beard? Did you lie about your landlord threatening to throw you out in the snow? Because where you had bad assumptions, where you chose to treat me like shit rather than listen to me, to snap at me for trying to explain. That shit's not fucking okay. Laura Nelson was at Candace Bondurant's. There are situations there that she can fucking verify. There's shit that Candace Bondurant can verify. She wants to pretend like magically I had internet access the whole time I was there and access to a computer that completely fucking worked. No, this was her fucking work computer. It wouldn't do shit. It was fucking difficult. I was lucky I was able to make the videos that I did. The tools I had at hand versus these people's assumptions of what I had. What, they thought I had millions of fucking dollars? Got all these people going, well, where's all that money they gave you in the GoFundMes? I didn't get a fucking penny out of those GoFundMes. Not a single goddamn penny. Then, of course, there's people that sent me money when it could have helped. It actually would have helped if that money from Mandy fucking Hughes would have arrived at the fucking jail. I could have called Miss Peaches and let her know what's going on. I could have called all of these people to say, hey, wake the fuck up. Talk to my fucking public goddamn pretender. Let her know what the fuck is going on, Peaches. I wrote her a fucking letter explaining that. What was her excuse for not fucking reading it and not doing a goddamn thing? She said she put it in her backpack. And then it got rained on and it got ruined. So not her fault. It doesn't matter if it's her fucking fault or not. It is her fault. I didn't put it in her backpack. I didn't fucking rain on it. I didn't leave it outside like an idiot. And I sure as well fucking read it. Meanwhile, that's probably just an excuse because she'd been fucking lying to me for fucking 7 months. Why did she lie to me about gonna go in, but she wanted to keep it a secret? Nobody gets to keep it a fucking secret. No, absolutely not. Not after 7 months. No fucking secrets. No, you are fucking playing me, Peaches. You are fucking playing head games. You knew that I was fucking broke, that I couldn't fucking afford to do all that shit that you wanted me to do. When you went around with me and tried to help me fucking set up appointments. You did that. You did that. All right? I blame you for what you did. You did that. You took me to those appointments. You helped me to set those appointments up. You did that, Peaches. You gave me a ride on the 16th of December so I could go see fucking Natalie and put a stop to that shit that you had known about for over a year but didn't have fucking time to listen. You did that, Miss Peaches. You did that. Alright, Rich Life of Adavand, aka Rich Life of fucking 10 million different fucking things, made another goddamn account. We'll do what we do. We'll take a fucking screenshot. What is this? Like, this is definitely over 60 from this guy too. Hide user on this channel. Done. And of course, we'll take a fucking screenshot of that too. You know, most of these people didn't mean any harm. They just also didn't realize how deep it went. I was always kind to Blaine McCrelius. Always. The things that he pulled after Natalie was killed were unfucking called for. The fact that he was friends with Miss Peaches made it extremely difficult. But you know what? I shouldn't have had to post that shit up. Those things did fucking happen. Fucking Christ. Now he's typing more shit at me. He made another account. It's called Rich Life Racist. You know what? I'm not even going to read that. Telling me I look like Snoop Dogg. You ain't the first motherfucker to tell me that. I've been told I look like fucking Snoop Dogg from the nose down, and I look like Tupac from the nose up. I don't look like either one. I look like Sean David Schwartz. Now let's get back to this fucking tool. Peaches, a.k.a. Kayla Trujillo. She took me to where I was supposed to go to talk to the Colorado State Patrol about the shit with Waylon Lolotai and the shit with the fucking detectives in Natalie's case. She did that. She did. She's the one who fucking drove. She did that. She did those things. And the cops claimed, number one, that I wasn't trying to get help, and number two, that nobody wanted to help me or would help me, probably because of the way that I act. They went out of their way to fucking lie intentionally. And then Mandy Hughes trying to give me money, but that money never got there, did it? No, it fucking didn't. Then Shannon Alvarado wants to treat me like I had access to the phone the whole time I was in there, where I could actually call these people. No, I couldn't even call my other fucking lawyers. Do you know why? Because they weren't attached to a public pretender's office. Anyway, what are we going to do with this Again, another profile from Rich Life. We're going to hide user on this channel. That's right. If they can be an autocratic dictatorship in court, if the Nazis want to prevent the Jews from defending themselves in court, well, thank goodness I recorded it. By the way, me recording the court proceedings without permission is against the law. However, you know what supersedes that? The fact that I caught them in commission of a crime. I caught a judge in the commission of a crime. But you guys have to turn it in. You have to turn it in. I'm called mentally ill. I will get teased and bullied and picked on and made fun of, but they're not going to fucking take my report. Even when people die, you can see that plainly and clearly. They want to try to pretend that I didn't say it first. Tony Kovaleski claiming that Denver Sevens reporting on Clearview first. No, I did, over a year earlier. Tony Kovaleski claiming that they reported on Waylon Lolotai on his channel first. No. I reported on him over a year earlier. What the fuck, dudes? Almost a year earlier. I apologize on that one. And still, you want to pretend like I'm schizophrenic and crazy. No, you fucked up. Marcia Estrada admits that I'm not schizophrenic. She stated that loud and clear. She stated loud and fucking clear that I'm not delusional. This is not rocket science. This is somebody who is, by her own words, licensed to diagnose schizophrenia. She's also the only doctor who saw me long enough to be able to diagnose schizophrenia. In order to diagnose somebody as schizophrenic, it takes 6 months, according to the DSM-5. 6 months. And in 6 months' time, did she claim that I was schizophrenic? No. The doctor's in the prison. They didn't even get to see me for 6 months. But you know what? It doesn't take 6 months to diagnose somebody as not being schizophrenic. It's called a non-diagnosis, and they don't do it. I mean, every therapist I go to, I'm like, am I schizophrenic? No, Sean, you're not. Well, can you write that down? Well, Sean, you're not diagnosed as schizophrenic, so why would I write it down? You're not schizophrenic. I'm like, yeah, I know, that's the point, but I need to go to the courts and be able to show them something. Because they're using the term mentally ill very loosely in order to pretend I'm schizophrenic. Who's doing that, Sean? Well, that would be the sheriff. And he also went and told hospitals and hospital staff and jails and prison staff that I was schizophrenic. Sean, he can't do that. That's against the law. I know it's against the law. That's why I'm coming to you. So now that I've come to you and explained to you that they did something that's against the law, will you help me turn it in? You got to hear Jen Beebe after almost a year and a half of me being sent to Jen Beebe. See, that's the thing about poor Marcia Estrada. And even worse, poor Megan Mesigatis, is that Megan Mesigatis got in at the end of a whole bunch of fucking hell. She should have never had to be involved. All the stuff that I was told to go to Jen Beebe about, and then you get to hear those conversations with her about how she's not going to do that. That's what I was told Jen Beebe was supposed to do. All right? That is on their letterhead as well. It is a part of their responsibilities and a part of their charter. Yes, it's a charter. In order to get that money from the government, there are certain guidelines that they're supposed to follow. If they don't follow the charter guidelines, they lose their money, they lose their funding, and they lose their licenses. So you better fucking follow it. There's also the association there of Well, it's fucking fraud. It is fraud to take that money and not perform those functions. Jen Beebe performed fraud. She's not the only one. But there's a lot more laws that go into that too. Now you listen to all of these professionals' excuses as well, and you go and you look at my court paperwork, and does it line up? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. What these officers claimed and the truth are miles apart. What the Bollingers claimed and the truth is miles apart. The tools I have at hand are just so happens to be the only tools that, well, somebody who's having to do it solo and alone has access to. I don't know how many of y'all I've seen bitch on your fucking Facebooks over the years about the most trivial shit that I would never fucking bitch about. Fucking upper middle class fucking white girl bullshit. What the fuck is that doing on my time? Oh yeah. Once in a while I see something so off the fucking wall, I'm like, I didn't post that for sure. Most of the tools that I had, most of the human resources that I had, showed themselves to be exactly that, tools. They wanted to tell me they trusted me, but they wouldn't look at evidence. Meanwhile, I didn't want them to trust me. I wanted them to verify that that shit existed and that I wasn't fucking schizophrenic. Well, I was able to do that. I have wholeheartedly fucking worked hard at that shit. Yeah, goddamn right. But I needed somebody who was fucking sober to help me fucking turn that shit in. I don't know if my sister was well, she wasn't sober. She was stoned off her ass. But that's neither here or there. Tara tried to stay sober that second day most of the day so she could help me. But the problem is that Ed was being a pain in the ass and she wasn't listening to what the fuck I was saying. She was busy hanging out with Ed. I'm like, how are you going to know what the fuck is going on when you're fucking around with the papers still? I already paid you to do that yesterday, Tara. That's not what you're here for today. But she just dazed off in the fucking middle of nowhere. Like, what the hell, Tara? Well, you and your friends thought that you were going to come over here, fucking squeeze me out of my money and then just fucking leave? No. Absolutely not. That's why I recorded everything. Yeah, there's the part that they knew was being recorded live on the internet. And then there's the part that I had to record all of. All of it. And yeah, that includes the crimes that were committed. That includes her little boyfriend Ed and all the bullshit that he pulled. Him fucking erasing that shit on my computer. And you can hear in it, like, there was nothing that I could do. My heart dropped at that moment. Did I want to fucking kill him? No, I wanted to kill myself. I never want to hurt people. Are you fucking kidding me? But that doesn't mean I'm okay with people fucking hurting me. Are you stupid? I come to you about these crimes and you blow me off and you tell me it's no big thing. Chris Kurth is no big fucking problem. Well, you know what? On every occasion where he came to threaten me, he brought somebody with him. Several of them were physical with me. Dan didn't hit me, but he was definitely physical. He was definitely in my bubble. He was definitely pushy. The fact that they were drunk does not give them a fucking excuse. When they were outside yelling my name, and Floyd Stegeman is sitting right fucking there playing goddamn retarded. Oh yeah, that's a real fucking safe situation for me. Thank goodness Chris Stegman showed up. Chris Stegman showed up. I got in the vehicle with him and we fucking left. What does he know about the situation? Pretty much just what I told him on the vehicle on the way home and anything his dad might have been sober enough to remember, which probably ain't shit. When I was able to record stuff, I did. I invested a lot of money into recording stuff. A lot of money into, well, phones, electronic devices, things that I could use to actually record the situations, because I had to go in alone so many times without the ability to do that. And I was abused like a motherfucker, and I told you that I would. I needed someone to go in with me so that I wouldn't get the mentally ill treatment. And what did you fucking do? You wanted to pretend like it was no big thing. Oh, no, 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 no. Au contraire, mon frere. Now you're being a dumbass. Now your fucking common sense is going right down the fucking toilet. You want to tell me that people are threatening to kill you and your fucking kids? And when I speak up about it, you want to call me a fucking liar? And then when I post it up from your own fucking mouth, you want to fucking throw a hissy fit, tell everybody I'm crazy and don't listen to me. Jesus fucking Christ, neurotypicals are goddamn predictable. Junkies are goddamn predictable. Pigs are goddamn predictable. I'm not very fucking predictable, am I? It scares you, doesn't it? That I don't do what everybody else does. But you want to project onto me what everybody else does. You want to project onto me people like Sarah Bacon talking about fucking hurting people. You want to project that onto me as if that was me doing that. I ask you guys who say that if you were here in person, that you'd shoot these people and you'd beat these people up and you'd protect me that way. When you're telling me I should have done that, or that's what people should do to those people, and absolutely, I'm going to say that. I know that that is popular opinion. What should we do with corrupt politicians and corrupt magistrates? We should hoist them from their own petards. Yeah, we know this is people's opinion. We know that America is fucking fed up with this shit, but you're bitches. You only bitch about it. When somebody else is going through it, you fucking look the other goddamn way. Most of you ignore it because it's never happened to you and it never could, and it's just a fucking magic rainbow fucking unicorn in somebody's goddamn fucking crazy mind. In reality, they're really stealing people's fucking kids. Christopher Weaver, he didn't need to have his kid took. He was a good dad. He even fucking stopped drinking to be a fucking dad. What did he do when they took away his kid and forced him to jump through a bunch of hoops that made it so that he couldn't go to work or he'd miss these appointments? They still fucking took his kid. Then they said that he wasn't trying and that he had quit his job and a bunch of all this other shit. No, he couldn't fucking work at the fucking rib shack. There's no way he could fucking work there when they had him scheduled for hours that you wanted to schedule him for appointments, or you wanted to call him while he was at work and tell him he's got an hour to get down to 55th and Arapahoe to take a fucking whiz quiz. Yeah, I got lots of tools I don't know how to use. I needed human resources that knew how to use those things. But the number one thing of all of it is I needed someone there in person with me for my safety, to prevent this from happening to begin with, to prevent the mentally ill treatment to begin with. When the cops said I didn't try to get help, when they wrote that down in my paperwork, those things that Miss Peaches actually did, that I actually spoke out about, that I actually got treated like I was schizophrenic for saying, that I actually recorded out of her own mouth, and I actually put on YouTube, and she actually threw a tantrum at me. Well, Miss Peaches, if you'd have come back at the beginning and spoke up at the beginning, you could have saved a lot of lives, including Elijah McClain's. I told you that those tactics are fucking killing people. I have been speaking out about that shit since the 1980s. When somebody tries to turn in their fucking predator, it don't matter if it's a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if it's an adult or a fucking child. Just like Dean said the other night. Yeah, he had been injected with that shit. First time he told me that story, the first time I asked him that, he also said, yup, and wham! Felt the floor too. Common story. Don't tell on fucking cops. When your dad rapes you, don't tell on your dad. That's the moral of the fucking story. If you're being raped at home, take it. If you're being beaten at home, take it. Take it until you become an adult. Because if you don't take it, if you're not strong enough to take it for that long without saying a goddamn word, you're not going to be able to turn that predator in. You already know that mama's going to blow you off again. She still loves dad, or she can't take care of the bills herself. You don't know which. You're a kid. Maybe she's scared of him. Maybe she thinks that he's perfect and can never do no wrong. And maybe she's afraid she's going to lose all you kids if she turns them in. But if you cut yourself with a Lady Bic to try to get that bit of attention, and I know, you huff and you puff and you can't do it, but you know you have to. You know that you're not going to scratch it even close to deep enough to hurt you or kill you. You don't want to have to do it that deep. You're hoping scaring them into listening will work. Well, no. Now they have an excuse to lock you up, call you mentally ill, and now you're discredited for the rest of your life, even when you're an adult. Even when you're an adult, you can't turn them in because they say, oh, well, she's crazy. She has suicidal ideations. I wonder how many girls out there, their first abortion was their dad's. There was a girl I went to school with. Her name was Beth. And Beth Williams. And she told me that she had to get her father's baby aborted. She told me that she had to, if she wanted money, she had to perform for her father. Her older brother, Jared Williams, and he was in my class in Chapel High School. He was one of the quasi-adopted kids that Gary Jepson had. These people can hate me all they want. The town protects those people. Just like Boulder, because of Jean Benet and, of course, those rapes in the 1990s from the MCU players. They put up all these signal things all over CU, so if somebody's sexually assaulted you, you can go to these things. And then they try to cover up the crime when you go, like they did with Teresa Macilia. like they did with Christina Kelly. Are these things okay? What tools do they have access to? Christina Kelly was going to school to be a fucking doctor, for Christ's sake. To be a doctor. And because she didn't fight off the man who raped her, she was charged with making a false report. Teresa Massilia tried to fight off her attacker. He wasn't charged either in that case. But she was charged with assault. She had to flee the state for her own safety because she was raped. She had to flee the state for her own safety from the police and the courts because she was raped. Christina Kelly had to flee the state of Colorado. Both of these girls, this happened in Boulder. Both of them had to flee the state, give up their educations, give up their entire lives. Not just out of fear of their rapists, but out of fear for our supposed justice system. I didn't let the predators get away, you did. These people who claimed that they would help me, who didn't keep their word, who want to throw tantrums because their words are on Facebook and YouTube, well, they shouldn't have called me a liar. They shouldn't have called me a liar for something that came out of their mouths. And since it did come out of their mouths, and since they wanted, see, I gave them the benefit of the doubt as best I could. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. When they told me that something happened a certain way, I gave them the benefit of the doubt. When I had proof that they fucking lied to me, that's a different story. When you're going to promise that you're going to help me and there's always some excuse why you can't, but you're going to lead me on for months. When it turns out that you lied to me, I don't have any problems with posting up those recordings. I don't have any problems with posting up those text messages. I don't have any problem with doing that morally. You should have told the fucking truth. If you're going to claim that I am slandering you for something that is written in my court documents, that the police, this is their entire case, is based on the idea that I never tried to get help, nobody would help me, and that I was, quote unquote, mentally ill. And they tried to push that as what? Schizophrenia and delusional thinking. Officers repeatedly calling me crazy, giving me the mentally ill treatment, and lo and behold, the evidence is up. One of the tools that I had at my disposal was the fact that people are dishonest. Yeah, you didn't want to end up on YouTube. And you know what? We had agreed that I wouldn't post it up in public. We did make that agreement. But what was your end? And did you follow your end? Did you keep your word? Or did you lie to me? Did I post that up because I'm evil or because you lied to me? Y'all are a special kind of stupid. That's the problem, is that you assumed I was retarded. I'm highly intelligent. Those of you in the drug life who want to do the whole hiding thing now, you guys know I'm well aware of the fucking drug life. I know all of you guys. I know you, George Helmstetter. I know you, Joshua Hebert. I know you, Kayla Trujillo. I know you, Kayla Manning. I know you, William Manning. I know you, Eric Schwartz. I know you. I know you, Maddie Boa. I know all of you in person. When you fucked up big. That's not my fault. I take responsibility for my shit. I will tell you what I did, when I did it, and fucking why. If I have to break the law to prevent someone from getting fucking killed, I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna let innocent people be fucking killed. I don't even want guilty people killed. Fuck, I'm goddamn filthy. I'm scratching the dirt off my fucking skin. And my phone's about to die, down to 5% battery now. Apparently I didn't hook it up right. Maybe if I unplug it and plug it back in, nope, it's too hot. Now obviously I got a computer, but I don't have access or a place to plug it in. It's full of evidence. Let's take a look at my keys. Let's also look at the videos that show where the stuff was stolen, where it was dumped, the security guards and the officers that I spoke to in multiple locations. You guys get to see junkies flipping out. You get to see heroin needles hanging out of people's arms at the bus stop in Tacoma. You get to look at all sorts of crazy shit. I want you to look up the word CompuTaco on my YouTube channel. You'll get to see where several of my items were stolen. Also, if you look at the other videos through there, you'll also get to see another situation where a man stole a computer and a backpack, and also a situation with Officer Schneider where he helped that man to get away with stealing my shit. That was evidence that I needed to turn in child molesters and rapists and bad fucking cops. But that didn't matter, did it? Nope. No. At that point in time, I was pretty not happy. That's another person while I was up there that I recorded. He was telling me that he was in Washington State for being a Chimo, but that he wasn't and that he hated Chimos. And then, you know, I was pretty sure he was the one that stole my computer that time. But, you know, the problem in that situation and in that scenario is that he had an accomplice, he had help, and he also got killed not far from my dad's house in Tacoma for being a child molester. Someone drove up and fucking blasted him and he died. That was a pretty interesting story. Let me show you what I got on here. This one right here. It says holding. That's because between the two computers, there was no room for anything. I had to get these. They're 256 gigabytes each. One of them says holding and the other one says transfer. And that's so that I can transfer some of the files to the computer at a time. That way I can go through and find the stuff that I need. That computer is still full. I still got phones that are still full of evidence. I still got one phone that has the assault by Robert Franklin Warnick on it. The thing is, I need other people to speak out. For 6 years, it's just been me speaking out about this. Other people speak out generally about how this treatment towards us generally is wrong, but they don't fight any of the individual cases. You look at the case of George Floyd. People fought an individual case. And I helped. I helped to pressure the government to do their fucking job, to protect the citizens of this fucking country, and visitors from abroad as well. The fact that I had to go to people who were not professionals, and people want to pretend like those are professionals. The fact that instead of finding out what's going on and helping me with the problems, people want to blow me off until I want my life to end, and then they want to send me to suicide hotline or the crisis line. Do you have any idea how many times I've called those places because you asked me to? They're not helping me with what you're not listening to. That's not their job. That's not their job. That's not their job. Just like with everyone else, it's not their job. It's literally nobody's job. Well, it's somebody's job. People are getting arrested for this shit. It's somebody's job. Polly Olson is on her way to fucking lockup. It's somebody's job. Michelle Quinn was fucking arrested. It's somebody's job. Sarah Nelson is on her way to prison. It's somebody's job. Michelle DeCini is in prison. No, she's already in prison. Yeah. What all these people have in common, they're all public officials or law enforcement. All of them. They're all people from my stories. They're all people I tried to turn in. All of them. They're also all people that I was forced to after being victimized, told that I had to go to them. I had to go to Polly Olson. I had to go to the sheriff. I had to go to Sarah Nelson. I had to go to Miranda Nuzzi. And then, of course, what'd they do? They went and showed I was telling the fucking truth about them. I had to go to Michelle Quinn to complain about the guards in her fucking jail. But Michelle Quinn was nowhere to be found. They claim that all of their instructions come from DaCosta and Quinn, and that Quinn has to sign off on it, but they have to do what DaCosta says. It's part of their contract or some shit like that. You know, and with me having everything stolen and then taken there, I couldn't record any of this. Those officers know it. They know it's going to cost me an arm and a leg that I don't fucking have to get that evidence if they recorded it at all. This allows police officers nationwide, however, the mentally ill tag and the assumptions of guilt towards the homeless that they have fought so hard to make the American people believe. Just like they tried to make us believe that all Muslims are evil, and before that, the commies are all evil, and before that, they wanted to blame all black people and Mexicans. You gotta have somebody to blame. You always need somebody lower on the totem pole. I was denied access to the human resources that I needed to get help. False charges against me cost me all of my money, all of my disability money that was required to help take care of myself. It cost me the ability to see my loved ones in any capacity at that point without being threatened, harassed, or assaulted. It forced me into a situation where I was on the streets and I was already a fucking target of a bunch of goddamn wingnuts, and now I'm a target for the public at large. Of course, I told you I had to go to drug dealers, didn't I? And Peaches admitted to it on my YouTube channel. She ain't happy about that. Well, she is the one that admitted to it. Joshua Hebert admitted to it as well. So did George Helmstetter. You got to hear Brett Roloff himself digging through his own feces for a bag of meth. I mean, come on now. This shit's all on my YouTube channel. You can't make this stuff up. Well, you can make it up, actually. You absolutely can make it up. That's what they used in court. They tried to pretend I was schizophrenic and making it up. The evidence is blatantly and obviously there. Yes, my case holds water. But someone needs to actually look. Not some shitty fucking fat bitch from fucking Lincoln who can't do the job. And she wants to tell me that her weight is part of the reason she can't do her job while she's being a bitch to me. And while she's being a fucking straight up prison bitch at that point because she's letting the cops roll over her too. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so there's this feller, Johnston. This is the feller who wanted to claim he sent me $5,500 earlier, and now he's trolling. So what do we do with these guys? Of course, I took a picture of it, and now we are going to go to... We'll click on it. Hide user on this channel. And blam, it's gone. Now you see that? That's the same thing they did to me in court. That's the same thing they did to me when I tried to turn in the police in Natalie's case. That's the same thing my friends did when I went to them for help after Natalie was killed. Well, that and a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Shit in the mouth is better than gravy or some crap like that. No, it's not. No, I needed help stopping abuse, and I couldn't even get to that part because people wouldn't shut up. The same thing to this day. When people find out you're autistic, this is why I fought so hard and earned what I had. I fought hard to hide the fact that I was autistic, to normalize so I wouldn't be victimized as much, so that I would be known for my merits and not my disability. Situation with Natalie Bollinger changed all that. When I got help, finally, actual help, it was in the form of Tamara from Region 1. And the only reason that she was actual help is because she has an autistic son. So does Megan Missigatis. Supposedly, according to the news articles, they claim she does too. It's all over the news articles. It's on the internet. Now, you guys that paid attention to that court date, you got to hear that judge say, I put that on the internet, you're right. And in the context that I put it on the internet, that was very important. However, Joan Hanson, you can tell it's recorded, it's on my channel. Joan Hanson was aware of the safety issue. And she was supposed to inform the judge, so the judge was aware that there was a safety issue. Nebraska State Patrol had known that there was a safety issue going all the way back to 2018. Meg Missigatis was aware that there was a safety issue. My sister was well aware that there was a safety issue. And of course, you can go back through all of my videos. All of them. When I was forced to threaten the people who threatened to kill me. Yes, the police and the fucking Bollingers gaslighted the shit out of me to get me to do that. It was a last-ditch effort to show what was going on with Kara Johnson Miles and Danica Garner and Rochelle Shelley Campbell. The situation with Alicia Bollinger and fucking Ted. The situation with Rose M. Kelly. Yes, I needed people to look at that fucking evidence. Yes, they repeatedly got onto my fucking Facebook to actually harass me and accuse me of shit that didn't fucking happen. I did not stalk Natalie Bollinger. I begged her for help stopping the people who are stalking me. Just like I went to Peaches all the way back, it was the end of November. When I first spoke to Miss Peaches about the situation, or first tried, she didn't have time. She didn't have time. I stayed there for almost 2 weeks over the Christmas season. Polly Olson saw me down there panhandling. What did I spend the money that I got panhandling on? Food and whatever the fuck else that Miss Peaches and her family needed. We're talking about legit needs. And of course, Magic the Gathering cards. Why did I spend that money that I was handed over the Christmas season on Magic the Gathering cards? Because that's what they all played. That was their entertainment. That was a social thing that I could get in on and actually have friends and have a sense or feeling of friendship with those people. But A-Bear wasn't having it. A-Bear's a dick. But A-Bear, when he got out of prison, started having sex with Miss Peaches. That was years ago. That's a creepy situation altogether. But you know what? Yeah, Joshua A-Bear is a fucking sexual predator, but Miss Peaches protects him. Her baby daddy, Raja, when they first started hooking up, no, it wasn't hooking up. She woke up with him raping her. It wasn't violent. So she apparently was fine with it. How fucked up is that? Now, do you think she's going to admit to that story? Probably not. One of the best things about recording everything with all of these people is the fact that it's recorded. The fact when people tell you fucked up shit like that, you've got it recorded. That's why I held my phone the way that I did and held it in my pocket. And I held my hand away from it. Let me show you why. Let's pretend this is my phone. And this is the face of the phone. And it touches the inside of my pocket. It may stop recording or shut off my phone. So what I do is I put my hand in there and I want to make sure there's space so that it's actually recording. So the fabric's not rubbing against it. Things like that. Try to put my keys in my other pocket so you don't hear it rustling. And I hold it like this so that I can hold my pocket open. And I hold my phone inside of there. And because of the tips of my fingers and my thumb, I'm able to keep it just a little bit away from the fabric. And then I record these people. And I didn't start off doing that. I started off believing that they were my friends and they loved me and they wanted to help me and they cared about stopping the abuse and they were going to go in with me like they said they would to go talk to these officers. They were going to make these police reports like they said they would. When they claimed that they tried, they all had different excuses why it didn't work. When they actually tried, somehow magically, none of them know the names of the officers. They didn't write anything down. They don't know shit, and they only did it alone. So there's no witnesses. There's no verification from these people, including people that were supposed to be autism advocates, like Kara Johnson Miles. A lot of these people that sent me this evidence so that I was aware of it, they needed to speak up. When I spoke up and I told not only what the evidence was and showed what the evidence was, I also stated where it came from. Oh, they didn't like that. Well, you know what? They had every chance to turn it into the fucking cops. All right? You had every chance to turn it into the cops with me. You got no proof. No evidence at all that you made that effort. The only reason the Megan Missigatis has any evidence whatsoever that she made the effort she did is because I recorded it and put it on YouTube. She does not have access to most of it. And that scares the shit out of her right now. I'm sure she's counting her lucky stars that I'm stuck here broke. I can't do shit until the 1st. That gives her plenty of time to backtrack and destroy shit. She don't want to go to prison. Meanwhile, it's not against the law for her to make those mistakes. What's against the law is trying to cover it up. Well, don't try to cover it up. Admit you fucked up. Otherwise, innocent people get killed. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about your bullshit, Megan Missigatis. Your bullshit. I don't care about it. I don't. My little sister's life at risk. My niece's life at risk. Fuck you, Meg. Yeah, you were the wrong fucking tool for the job, but you needed to actually do an advocate's job and fucking speak up. There's all these dynamics that you wanted to talk to me about, but you never spoke up. You want to claim that you tried to speak up when? When? What did it take for you to fucking do that? Then when you want to use cancer brain as your excuse for not remembering that shit, or chemo brain or whatever, you know what? There's lots of other people can't remember shit either, especially if they're stressed the fuck out. That's why it's recorded. Then she wants to say that she's going to go back through the recordings and this and she's going to that. And I'm like, good luck. See, I was kind to her. And I made sure that the videos with all of her personal bullshit are not on the internet. That's where the argument was to begin with. That's how I was able to blackmail, as you want to call it, her into doing what it is that she should have fucking done from the beginning. Speak up. Fucking speak up. Write it the fuck down. She did write it down, not in a police report, but she did send it to the Nebraska State Patrol, according to her, and I do believe her. I do have certified mail from her. My Aunt Mary can verify that it was delivered to her house. That's right, I gotta use everybody else's fucking address at places I can't even stay. It's fucked up, isn't it? And then I gotta depend on those people to eventually maybe. Well, that don't work. You guys got to hear that conversation that I was able to record with me and Sean Holloway. And, of course, there's a woman in there that doesn't speak at all. She plays dumb. That woman's name is Laura Nelson. Now, Sean Holloway can verify that Laura Nelson was there, but the most you get out of Laura Nelson in that, she made a sound. Yeah, thanks, Laura. That was awful sweet of you. It's pretty important to listen to that. Just after that, I'm in a vehicle with Laura Nelson, and I'm talking to her. I'm like, hey, here's the thing, Laura. Like, the cops are saying I need to turn it into them. These are the same cops I've been going to. You know it's the same cops I got to go to by myself every time. Thank you for going in, but what should I do? She said, well, I don't trust them. I don't think you should trust them. I said, well, they were telling me I need to turn this into the FBI. The only way I have that I'm able to do that is if I go in person, and I need somebody to go with me to do that. She said, well, I might be able to go with you to do that. That's right. Didn't want to help me, probably because of the way that I act, huh? No, Laura Nelson was aware. Laura Nelson did not want me going to the Dual County Sheriff's Department. She was against me going to the Dual County Sheriff's Department. I was like, well, here's the thing. You're not making any of these calls with me, and you're not speaking up. You know, I understand that everybody's pissed off that I recorded their shit and put it on the internet, but if it was true, well, you've got no right to be pissed off, because you should have fucking told everyone. You should have told the cops. You should have told law enforcement. You should have told the media. You should have tried, and you should have fucking recorded it and spoken up. If those things happened, fucking prove it. If not, you were gaslighting me. Plain and simple. Not everybody has the luxury that Megan Misigatis has, where I recorded her shit too. Because that really is her saving grace. It shows that these officers, when I was attempting to turn in crimes against my person by them and by others in Chapel, Nebraska, this is where they repeatedly made me go, even knowing it was not her job. Her saving grace is that I recorded that shit. But then again, I also recorded the fact that I turned in those crimes to her over a year earlier than that. Sorry, almost a year earlier than that. She made that effort in January, and I don't think we were in contact until February or March of the year before. Now, why were we in contact in February or March? Because in December of the year before that, Jen Beebe was court-ordered to do that job. She was court-ordered to be my advocate. I was court-ordered to see in specific Jen Beebe and in specific Nicole Peralta. People I was already going to see, but then I couldn't afford it because of false charges. I couldn't afford to take care of myself. I couldn't afford my apartment in Sydney. I couldn't afford both. And I'm told that I chose it. Oh, well, Sean, you had a choice. You chose homelessness. No, I chose between going to court and not. I chose between trying to show the truth in court and, of course, trying to live out a very short life, cush, right across the Colorado border in a fucking dinky apartment in a town where fucking everybody hates me because of slander from the news. It's not just Sydney. It's not just Chapel. There are a lot of people in Sydney who know me. And there's a lot of people with the situation with Natalie who didn't know shit. And when I tell them what's up, and they're like, who? I'm like, oh, damn. Some of y'all don't know nothing. My predators know quite a bit, though. The people from Nova Scotia who want to fucking threaten me from there. Nova Scotia's in fucking Canada, people. I had people threaten my life from New Zealand, from Great Britain, from all over the fucking world. And in languages I couldn't even fucking identify. The best sword in the world is going to do you no good if you don't know how to use it. The best shield is going to do you no good if you don't know how to use it. The best rifle in the world is going to do you no good if you don't know how to use it. The best computer, the best telephone, it doesn't do you any good if you don't know how to use it or don't have the ability to. The problems that you guys encounter while you're on vacation, because you want to plug your shit in, and you have the availability to do so in most of the places you go. Homeless don't. We're ostracized and bullied and threatened and intimidated by police because people don't want to see us at those places. They don't want to see us at the truck stops taking a shower. They don't want to see us with our backpacks. They don't want our backpacks in the store. It's fucking horrible. Alright, we got more people on here making up fucking fake profiles. This guy calls himself Sean Longbumps ad event. How many profiles is this for this guy? And what do? We take a screenshot. We click on it. Come on. With my phone being as hot as it is, it don't look like this is gonna work. Well, I guess we'll have to block him the next video.